At this time, we'll recess the commissioners' meeting, and I'll now call or reconvene the salary board meeting from last week.
Next item, would the board entertain a motion to amend the agenda that was publicly advertised to specifically address 2 items from the court?
I'll make that motion.
Point of order. Regardless,
Second, first, before we open it up to discussion.
it's a point of order. It's not a discussion item, solicitor.
Okay.
Yeah, you can second and go ahead. I mean, yeah, so point of order, regardless of the fact that I support the establishment of the position, any inclusion of the motions that were just presented to us this morning would be in violation of the Sunshine Act, which specifically states a public agency may take official action on a matter of agency business that is not listed on the meeting agenda if the matter arises or is brought to the attention of the public agency within 24-hour period prior to the meeting, and the matter is de minimis in nature. The motions that are to be put forth would result in an eventual commitment of over $70,000. I don't see that as de minimis in nature, so I'd call on the solicitor for an opinion if this would be in violation of the Sunshine Act.
Under the circumstances, I would tend to agree that there are 2, under the recent amendments to the Sunshine Act, there are 2 circumstances where the agenda can be amended to provide for new items. One, as Commissioner Lukasevich said, where it's de minimis in nature, and 2, where it's an actual imminent emergency. So I don't know if this is something that could be tabled for a future meeting.
Would the courts be agreeable to delay the vote till next week?
Well, I don't see that we have much choice, Commissioner.
Well, Judge, just so you know, we received the final duty description, job classification at 2:51 yesterday afternoon. I don't think it would be fair to impose upon us in a non-emergency situation an appropriate level of due diligence and review of that, because there had been quite a few changes that took place. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
The courts were asked to be present to make the motions today,
Yeah.
So it's somewhat of a surprise to me. But if that's the opinion of the solicitor and that's what the commissioners are going to do, then we will make ourselves available when it's appropriate for you to consider.
And I will still make my comments on this because I don't know if this is an emergency, but I think this is something that has been put off for a long time. I think the courts have sent it over, and I was the one that made the big deal out of that it should be a separate job versus, and I've been following it, and I think what I got yesterday was minor changes to it from the week before, and I mean, I'm okay with it. But my point of it is, this is, my position on this, even going on to the salary. I think the salary was done correct. I think, and correct me, Kelly, if I'm misspeaking, but I think the job descriptions were given to HR and with you participating and working on the job description. And I think if everybody looks at it here, my point of this is I think we should have a lesson in this, that everybody looks at the salaries, that it was something evil. And if you look at this salary, we were wrong about it, and that's why I said it's very important to me. I think people should be paid properly, and we're gonna work things out over the year. And if everybody looks at it, this position, we were debating over the 1921, if it was, you know, if it was feasible, or not over the 1921, but the 1899. We had discussion that, was it too much, wasn't it enough? So you might look at this that it's only 22 cents, but we shortchanged this position by 22 cents. And I think going through the procedure, this is the way that it should be done. I don't think anybody should be able to just walk in here and just say, I want 50 cents or 25 cents. And I just want to go on, and I think it goes back to this, I think the big question is how it's going to be funded. This is a position I feel it's needed. I think I was over to the drug court yesterday, and when I walked outside, I was talking to an individual out there, and I have my own story, and there's a lot of stories that I've seen. And when I was talking to the guy, he said to me, boy, I wish I had this program when my son was alive. So, you know, there's no doubt that this is needed. I feel it is an emergency. Every day that we do not have this coordinator, it's affecting somebody's lives. I mean, these opiate companies came in here and they said this wasn't addictive, you know, and now here we sit, and I want to go on to the third thing about the funding. We've already got opiate, you know, somebody asked about what the amount was. We already got $705,167.43 that we don't know what to do with it. I think, and I don't want to speak for Judge Matika, but I think he was the one, and we've been going back and forth on what we can use the money for. And I feel this is one of the positions that I think that we could use. You know, we're sitting here and it's like they're telling us that if you don't start out on an opiate, can we use this money? And I think what I've learned from the courts and, you know, some of the other people, that opiates are in just about everything now. And we're going to be dictated on $400,000 a year or whatever we're getting to the opiate companies when we want to help people. So my opinion is it could go out of this, and I don't think everything out of this should go to the courts, because there's issues that we have up at the prison. At the prison, we're giving people pills on a daily basis. There's other ways that we can save money. There's shots that they can have for a whole year that it's going to cut down our expenses. Every day that we don't do something, it's costing the taxpayers money. And the most important thing is, if we save one life, it's worth it. You know, but like, I just can't see this sitting on $705,000 and not being able to do something with it. I think, and maybe it's out of the realm, I feel this is an emergency. I'm okay with next week. I mean, I think it went where the job description should be. But I think sometimes we sit here and we're held hostage, and we're sitting here and, oh, we got unfunded mandates. And here we have money that we have, and we don't know what to do with it. I think it's time that we step up as the officials of the county and say, you know what, we can use this, we're interpreting this, and we could take the money out of this tomorrow if we wanted to. And if it's a mistake, then we replace that in the budget for next year. But this money, and I don't think they're gonna take money, if this is incorporated that it's $80,000, I don't think, and we talk about they're coming back, they want to audit, and I'm sure if you do something wrong, they're going to have a case to audit us. But if we use it in our best interest of our people, and if they come out in a month from now and say, okay, you can't use it, then we correct it, and we corrected the problem. But I think sitting on this week after week is not what I wanted. I mean, I think sitting on it when I wanted it a single job, that's what that job was. I think it waited too long. Now we're going to sit here and debate on where the money's coming from. We have the money right there, and that's my opinion. I mean, and there's two different opinions. I think the opinion on what we're getting, and the opinion what Judge Matika says. And I'm siding towards him that what are we going to do? Are we going to sit here for another year until somebody comes out and says what we're going to use the money for? I'm not willing to do that. I think it has to be done. And if it isn't today, I mean, I'm fine with next week. But we have to continue something here. And I didn't want to, and that's what I wanted to say, Judge Surface. I mean, this is something, and I think we're all in agreement that we have to do something. And sitting here is not my cup of tea, to do that.
I mean, it's not a matter of the what we can do, or it's what we're allowed to do, and that's, we talked about it
But they're
last week.
telling us, they're not even telling us what
That's
we're
the
allowed to
problem.
do for
That's the
it.
problem.
So I'm
I
just
agree with that.
counteracting on, we're gonna use it until you determine what it's for.
So just procedurally, gentlemen, then.
Yes.
My recollection is, and you can correct me, Mrs. Arnott, that was the motion made to amend the agenda?
Correct.
We
To
have a
allow
motion
these
made.
motions. So there's a motion and a second on that, which the court's not entitled to vote on because it's just an amendment of the agenda. So that's
Yes.
for you gentlemen to vote on.
Okay.
So I think before we do anything further, there has to be some action taken on whether or not you'll permit the amendment to the agenda.
Spoken like a
Solicitor.
former solicitor.
We'll blame the solicitor and his interpretation, and, well,
We have a
Any
motion on
discussion?
the floor.
No, we have a point of order.
Point of order.
That,
Well,
again, that has
go back
to
to
be
the
ruled.
motion.
Yeah.
May I pull the board?
No, you may not. There's a point of order that this can't move forward because it violates the Sunshine Act.
well, here's my opinion on this. How many weeks have we been talking about this?
We don't
It's not like
violate,
it's-
we don't violate the law just for convenience.
Okay,
Well, obviously, the purpose of the Sunshine Act is to not just encourage, it mandates transparency, so, it discourages last-minute changes to the agenda, so that not only the participants, but the public can have advance notice and be prepared to review and discuss. I certainly wasn't prepared for this myself, but that's my understanding. But it's not up for me to decide whether something is or isn't de minimis, and or whether it is or isn't an emergency. But
did we or did we not do this previously that you voted for? I mean, a motion to do things.
What, make modifications to an agenda? If it was not, if it was de minimis, there is no problem.
Well, I'm
But this is
saying
not
where
de
all
minimis,
those
this
motions
is
that you
an
voted for.
$80,000 commitment of county funds. The public has a right to prepare for public comment. That's the entirety of the law and its creation by our legislative body. And it was unanimous, if I recall correctly. There's no question. This is not de minimis. Therefore, to act upon this would be in violation of the Sunshine Act. Law 101.
Okay, then I will make the motion to table this. How's that? Just to settle here, my comments will be the same comments I'm making next week. And my opinion is, I go back to it, this is an emergency. It is. And it might be an inconvenience, but I would invite you back next week to do the same thing, or, and I think everybody sees where I feel about it.
I'll second that motion to continue the conversation.
And I appreciate the invitation, someone will be here, to address this next week. I don't know if there's anything more formal we need to do as far as adjourning this so that we do have a meeting next week, because I don't know if it's part of your regular schedule for
I
next
will
week.
recess the meeting and we'll have it in the agenda for next week.
If the polar board to table.
Very well, thank you, gentlemen.
May I pull the board on this last motion to table for 1 week?
Go ahead.
Mr. Severcek?
Yes.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.